We've reassessed you. 2-0. The CEO's daughter smirked as she fired me. Hours later, her father stormed in from his jet screaming, "Are you insane? You fired who?" By evening, an investor's auditor convened an emergency meeting. He circled my name on the funding contract and asked the board, "Should we just take the keys or do you have the $45 million penalty?" They say betrayal feels like a knife in the back, but for me it was a plastic badge tossed into a trash bin. "We've reassessed you." Ivy Brandt smirked. She was perched in the leather chair her father once ruled from like a general on campaign. 2-0. She flicked her wrist and my ID badge, 10 years of loyalty, late nights, $1 million contracts, landed in the bin with the hollow clink of something disposable. I stood very still, hands clasped neatly behind my back. The way I used to when presenting quarterly projections to investors, the way I did during crises when calm was the only weapon. She thought she was breaking me. All she did was confirm I'd been right to prepare. Behind her hovered Tucker, her new assistant, 22 years old, finance bro haircut, the kind of grin that comes only when you've never failed at anything that mattered. He snorted like Ivy had delivered the line of the century. "You've been here since what?" "The fax machine era." Ivy twirled her father's pen between two manicured fingers like a villain in training. She barely looked at me as she scrolled her phone with the other hand. "Your legacy bloat? We're streamlining. You'll land somewhere." She tossed a manila envelope across the desk. It skidded to a stop next to a half-eaten egg bowl, bright purple melting into paperwork. "Generous exit package. HR is waiting. Security will walk you out in 10. I bent to pick up the envelope, not because I cared about the money, but because I wanted to see if she'd flinch when I stood back up. She didn't. That's when I saw it. Framed behind her, slightly crooked, like the universe had a sense of humor. The original investor covenant. 12 years ago, I had helped draft that document in a conference room that smelled like burnt coffee and panic. My name was still there, etched in legal permanence, key operational stakeholder, Laura Keller. I let myself smile. "Just a flicker?" "You don't seem upset," Ivy said, narrowing her eyes. She expected tears, begging, bargaining. Instead, I gave her silence. Silence unnerves people like Ivy more than shouting ever could. She pressed her father's executive stamp onto a form without aligning it properly.